See you, the members. Going to invite Representative Gordon Denlinger to the rostrum at this point in time. Gordon has served the 99th Legislative District of Lancaster County for 12 years, having been elected in 2003. He currently serves on the House Appropriations, Agriculture and Rural Affairs, Finance, and Tourism and Recreation Development Committees. As a certified public accountant, Gordon worked as a controller for Sharpshooter and was assistant controller for Newell Rubbermaid's Graco Children's Product Division prior to assuming public office. He and his wife Carolyn reside in Narbonne with their 4 children. And with that, we'd like to offer Representative Denlinger an opportunity to deliver some parting remarks from his service in the legislature. Gordon, welcome to the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. Speaker Smith, greetings. Leader Turzai, greetings to you. Leader Dermody, the respective leadership teams, friends and colleagues, everyone in this place. I've been warned about the length of remarks, that these sometimes run a little too long, but I will put it to you like this. As Henry VIII said to his 5th wife, don't worry, this shouldn't take long. First and most importantly, some greetings and some thanks to some people who are very special in my life. And I'm going to introduce my family to you first, and we'll just hold the welcome until we kind of go through that. To my bride of 29 summers, Carolyn, if you want to rise, please. Yes. Carolyn, we have a 30th anniversary coming up this coming June, and there's some time in Nantucket for the 2 of us that we're planning. This time when we go up, I promise not to take you sailing in a hurricane. That'll be the plan, unless it's a small hurricane. My son Evan is with us today, recent Juris Doctorate of UPitt Law. Evan, if you would want to stand, please. He's joined by his friend Brittany, if you want to stand. Our second son, Preston, recent graduate of Grove City College with a business degree, now working in sales down in Exton with JTech, and also running a real estate business on the side. So Preston, and our third son, Blake, is at Grove City as a senior. He's heading up a conference today, couldn't break away from that. His plans are the Presbyterian ministry and seminary after his undergrad degree, so he's on his way. Greetings to him. He's watching, I understand. And then to our youngest, Mariah, who, by virtue of being the youngest, has borne more of the brunt of Dad being at too many fire hall dinners and such. If you would stand, please, and be greeted by the house also. Mariah just received her driving permit, so I extend that to all of you as a warning. She is practicing driving at this point. To my dedicated and faithful staff. First, some folks who cannot be here but are watching. Judy Wingenroth, I'm the 3rd rep that she's served in the district, and so she's been at it for over 25 years. Judy, greetings and thanks to you for your warm spirit and for your strong faith. For Jessica Blair, my LA here in the Capitol, who has grown in your professionalism, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. Ethan Ballman in the district office, my outreach guy, who's big-hearted and very loyal. Thank you, Ethan, for all you've done. For Hugh Kaufman, who got this newbie out of the gate well back 11.5 years ago. Hugh, thank you. And then 2 who are here with me today. After Hugh, my next chief of staff became Jamie Detweiler. Jamie, if you would rise, please. He served with me for 6 years, and he is a genuine leader in the Eastern Lancaster County community. And I will say that your work, sir, locked me into the relationship with the voters and the people of that area. So thank you, and thank you, Sarah. Jamie's wife is joining also, so thanks to you. And then my second and present chief aide, Jeremy Keel, if you'd rise, please. Jeremy, thank you so much for building on Jamie's efforts out in our district. and for using your legal background to propel forward our policy and our legislative victories. So thank you. Thank you all. Please thank them if you would. And then a few thanks are due out to the folks who serve all of us so very well. To Lynn and Spiz, who take good care of us here in the chamber. To our committee staffers, who really keep the engine of this place running. To the House radio, video, outreach folks who are out there, who are not thanked enough. For our mailroom and couriers, for the bill desk folks over here. For all of these fine staffers down the front here, the chief clerk staff. Thank you all for everything that you do. You are not thanked enough, and you do excellent work. We appreciate it. And one parenthetical note for you folks and for the pages here on the front. Thank you for not throwing food or peanuts at all of us. Sometimes when people go to the zoo, they get tempted to feed the animals, and they've never done that to us, so we appreciate that. Friends, I've been on an amazing political odyssey over the last year and a half, and I would like to share just a few brief reflections on that. It has been the honor of a lifetime to serve here in this House. In mid-2013, with the senator vacating, I felt the call of a run for the state Senate and felt affirmed in that call during the journey. But alas, it was a call to run and not a call to win. And as you know, personal Christian faith is something that's very important to me, and maybe I'm quieter about that at points, but it is certainly central to who I am and to how I process both the blessings of life and some of the challenges that we encounter along the way. I'm by church denomination a Presbyterian, conservative Presbyterian type, and there is a strong emphasis in that background on the sovereignty of God and His control over the affairs of men and all of us as individuals, and not only that, but bodies such as this and the state of nations. In the letter that the Apostle Paul wrote to the church in Rome, the book of Romans chapter 13, there is laid out the relationship for Christians and government, how that is supposed to work together, and regardless of your background or persuasion, I recommend that to you. Romans chapter 13, you'll find it, I think, enjoyable regardless, again, of your views. But included in Romans 13, there is this thought, that God raises people into positions of authority and that He removes people from positions of authority. And the conclusion that I must reach is that God has and is removing me from this position of authority. And friends, I believe this is not only okay, but that it's for my good, and most importantly, it's for His glory. This is not easy, but it is apparently for the best. One of the wonderful distinctions within our family that we enjoy together is a passionate love of sailing. I share a love of sailing with my good friend Steve Barrar over here, and some call it a disease. Maybe it's more that than it's a passion, but we have enjoyed as a family times of sailing together. Done some sailing up off the coast of Cape Cod, where the waters are particularly challenging, changeable winds and currents, and the navigation there is its own interesting area. Sailed in Buzzards Bay around Woods Hole, and some sailing on Vineyard Sound between the Cape and Martha's Vineyard. There are two situations, however, that are a little bit perilous that you can encounter when you sail that I think relate to the experience of the last year. We encountered it on Buzzards Bay one time where under full sail we were actually sailing into a current that was stronger than everything that we could put at it. And we were, in essence, parked under full sail at that point. And as I was going through the Senate campaign, and it's a campaign I'm very proud of, the way it was conducted, the way it was run. At points, we were under full sail, and we were just not moving forward. And then May 20th came, the big day, and the second sailing condition, I think, would relate to maybe that and the period after that. The other harrowing situation that can occur is when you are sailing with the current, and literally the current overwhelms the sails of your boat, and you are at dead rudder at that point. You are just carried along to wherever the current is going to take you. And as the person who's generally the captain of the boat, when you lose all control, that's a perilous place to be. But sometimes in life, I think God puts us in that place, and he says, rely on me and have hope. And I believe that's where we are at this point. We see God working his plan out in our lives, the lives of our family and with our staff. And it is a good place to be, but it is a challenging place. So what is the future for this representative who's still young enough to have another career left? The plan at this point, and I'm not closing all options, so if you've got an idea, don't hesitate to talk to me. But the plan at this point is to enter into a business purchase agreement for a new car dealership with an aging gentleman who is about ready to move off the scene, and the franchise is saying, we think you should think about retirement, and so he's being pushed a little. And at this point, if you have a couple million in your pocket and you'd like to talk to me about an investment, let's all get together, and the lunch is on me, believe me, and we will talk about investments. But the plan is to go into the new car business at this point with the purchase of a new car dealership. That's the plan forward. So the future for Carolyn and I is about baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. There it is. That's where we think we're going at this point. I'm glad some of you still remember that ad campaign. That's encouraging. Hold on to that. And so in closing, I'm not going to get into any list of legislative bills that have been passed. Those are a matter of record, and history will determine whether they were good ideas or not. And I'm not going to get up here and advocate for some of the causes that I have and that I believe in sincerely: the cause of life, traditional values, Common Core, implementation of new and better economic policies. I am still very passionate about those things, but I'm not going to get into that here. As a final thought, I would like to share this. I would like to encourage you all, each one, to love and defend and build this institution, Republican and Democrat alike. This institution is the governmental manifestation of that which is of, by, and for the people. And history tells us that such institutions are somewhat fragile. It's been here all of our lifetimes, but it needs to be guarded and protected and promoted. You know, we see our friends in the media sometimes beat up on the General Assembly and on the House, and sometimes some of our own do too, and frankly, that's low-hanging fruit in the political sense. And it tends to build cynicism out in the public. But I want to enlist you all, please, to value this institution, the longest standing freely elected body on the North American continent, to promote its continuance so that it might endure not only for the present, but for our children and for our grandchildren and for generations to come. Friends, thank you all for your friendship. Again, from the bottom of my heart, it's been a pleasure to serve with you all. And as the French say, au revoir, we will meet again. God bless you all.
Thank you, Gordon. In spite of the gratuitous advertisement for Chevrolet, Gordon and I share a couple of things. Both of us, our wedding anniversaries are June 29th, which, you know, anybody that's been around here a while know June 29ths don't do real well for wedding anniversaries. My wife got pretty used to it pretty fast. I won't be home. That's generally the attitude. And we also had, each of us had a child that went to Grove City, so share a couple of things in common, but I guess that's part of what makes this body what it is, the odd connections and unique connections. You spoke about your friendship with Steve Brar over sailing. It is what makes this institution unique in that regard, how we join in some kind of relationship with with people that we might otherwise not have a lot in common, or maybe so. Gordon, you've always served this place as a gentleman with a kind demeanor. I think it is reflective of what you believe. And of course, you've suffered the slings and arrows of chairing the Legislative Audit Advisory Committee, which is just a pincushion for being punched, I guess. And I've appreciated that. As you sail on, I wish you the best and know that God will lead you in the right direction. God bless you.